Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Newsgram. How are you feeling? It's an appropriate question given today's subject matter. What do you know about empathy? I want to start out today with a quick lesson because there's a difference between empathy and being an empath. Empathy is simply the ability to understand the feelings of others. Hopefully we all have this ability. Kind of makes you human. However, being an empath would give you the ability to tap into and take on the emotions of the people around you. Think about that for a minute. Actually being able to know physically how someone feels because you can feel it too. That's some next level stuff. Empaths are highly sensitive people, and while they probably make some pretty good listeners, they do need to choose their friends wisely because, well, feeling your feelings is great if you're a happy person, but what about anger, negativity, pessimism? These things can be awfully draining. You ever met an empath? Well, today you're going to. Her name is Melissa L. Farrell.
I was born an empath, and I lived in San Diego County with better than 100,000 people there, and I would absorb everything of all of the people that were around me, and couldn't differentiate between what was me and what was them.
That can be a real challenge, and it would probably force one to seek some professional advice.
It took a lot of years counseling, and one of the reasons I got into psychology was to try to figure this stuff out.
And as you might expect, it would also force you to seek out some solitude, which is all explained in her book, 12 Years in Alaska, A Spiritual Journey.
The 12 years in Alaska were important because I am an empath. My younger sister married a man that was stationed in Eielson Air Force Base in Alaska. We went up, my mother and my son and I, one year to visit with her and see the place. Mama decided that Alaska would be a good place for me, and I absolutely did. We were driving along the number 2 highway in Alaska, got to this one space. My heart space opened up absolutely wide. And I said to my sister, Terry, where are we? And she said, this is Salcha, Alaska. And that's where I ended up living. There were only 900 people living in Salcha. So I could hear me, I could feel me, I could deal with my own issues in that 12 years.
I looked it up. Salcha is about 40 miles south of Fairbanks, and it's a very beautiful place. It's next to the Salcha River, a popular fishing destination. But enough about all that. I just wanted to give you a feeling of the serenity that you could expect to see and feel, and if you're an empath, how calming this area must be. It's no wonder she chose to stay there. There's something else that I want you to know about Melissa. In 1964, when she was in her 20s, she was driving her mother's Corvair with her brother John when she suffered a near-death experience.
The near-death experience changes everything so much. It isn't a matter of growing through it and learning it little by little. I mean, you have the experience and everything has changed. And I mean physically, emotionally, spiritually, your outlook on life, everything changes. Coping with that is another issue.
I was going to read you a section of the book where she talks about her experience, but to be honest, it's very well written and it goes on for a while. So I think you're going to get the most out of it if you just read it yourself. Melissa is a great storyteller, but I will leave you with just the last 5 words in the story. John was my first ghost. How's that for an incentive?
My hope for the reader is that they will find something in one or more of the articles that help them to find their own private, personal path in life. That's what this whole experience of my life has been for me, was to find the path that is right for me in life. And I just wanted to give the opportunity to people to maybe find their own.
Oh yes, the articles. Before I wrap up, I should let you know that there are 30 different articles on various subjects where she shares her life experiences, and it's all in the hope that it will give you some perspective and help you on your own spiritual journey. It's probably the thing that was most fascinating about the book. Not just the near-death experience or the ghosts or the things that happened to her, but the way she shares it with the reader, her unique brand of wisdom. There is no agenda. It's just the telling of a story in hopes that you'll find strength in the stories, the guidance to find your own path, and maybe begin to live your own story. Check out her blog or download your own copy of 12 Years in Alaska, A Spiritual Journey by Melissa L. Farrell. You can find it on her website or your favorite online bookseller, Walmart, Barnes & Noble, Amazon, wherever you like to buy books. There are links to all the places I just mentioned in this show's description. And that will do it for this empath edition of Newsgram from webtalkradio.com.